And so welcome to our Power Talk, where I'm going to take you on a roller coaster of emotions as I share my experiences with some storytelling from the border to the boardroom. And I hope that I inspire you to take action towards your journey to excellence. Now let's get started with what I call my RAP framework. That's to reflect, act, and persevere. So you need a piece of paper for some note taking. Now, step one is to reflect. That is to reflect on where you are today. What impact are you having on others? So write that down on the bottom left side of your page. Now, for me, I'm an entrepreneur, so I love the previous chat. I'm now a consultant and a coach. But before I was told no many, many times. Now, have you ever felt like there's no path forward because it seems like all doors are closing in on you? Well, for me, the more I was told no, the bolder I got. Same like my amigas here on the stage. So that fire was ignited even way back when I was a teenager. I was told our students couldn't pass an advanced placement exam that I was asking for funding for. Now, we were in a school in a poverty-stricken region, and so that was their dilemma, that our students wouldn't pass, so the money would go to waste. I took the bold action. I had to find a way. That put fire in my belly. So I got some volunteer teachers. Greg Garcia and Miss Ayer were our teachers, and about 30 willing students that showed up to a Sunday class. So there we were doing calculus. After church, we'd do our prayers. And then after church, we'd come in with Miss Ayer and do calculus. She was one of our volunteer teachers. Now, the impact on others, we started our school program. So many of us passed with 3s and 4s, and that's how we got the program started. Now, some other instances, like what I've heard here from other Latinas, I struggled in my first marriage and went through a divorce. Maybe I rushed into the marriage, or maybe, I don't know, in my culture or pressure from my family, maybe if you're not married by the age of 30, there's something wrong with you. I don't agree. But the bold action is I did file for divorce. And I traveled with my little girl, because I was a career woman at the time, who was 3 years old, to many trips around the country. Now, the impact is my career blossomed around the world. I was going to many different countries, and my little Brianna became a very determined and social butterfly filled with tenacity and resilience. So now let's reflect. So deep soul search of where you are. And what do you want to be in 10 years? What do you want to be doing? So write that down in the top right corner of your page, write 2034. Now, what's that dream, that passion that you must do? So write that in the top corner. Now you're going to connect the two with the windy arrow from one side of where you are today to where you want to be 10 years from now. And do not make it a straight line. Nothing happens in straight lines, as you heard from our speakers, right? Now the act. We must take bold action. So for me, if you recall, I had no program, no funding, no classroom. I created a classroom. And that's how the AP program was born at my high school in Brownsville, Texas. Now, then I was a divorced single mom. I still had to travel and do my job. So I take my daughter on the trips with me, and I put her at La Petite Academy is what I had back then. And I could take her to any center around the country. Now for you, what 2 actions will you take to get from point A, from where you are, to your passion, to where you want to be? So write them down on that windy road. And now I'm going to get to the P, which is persevere. Now for perseverance, I'm going to share, I give you 2 of my challenges. Let me give you a few more, because I've heard about resilience the whole time that I've been listening here. I'm a daughter of immigrant parents who came to this country with literally 100 pesos in their pocket. Back in 1973, that was what, about $8 US? But they had a dream and hard work ethic. They passed that hard work ethic to us, their children. And I love studying. I enjoyed learning new things. I was able to get into Stanford. Never in my wildest dream did I ever think I could go to such an elite and expensive school. Now I got a full ride, so I was a good studier and I got some good grades. I showed up, but inside of me, I knew that I would struggle, that I wasn't quite ready to be with a lot of the people that were at that school. Now I did flunk out of physics, or I saw myself flunking. I didn't quite get there, but it was a D or an F coming. So I dropped that class my freshman year. I took it again my junior year, got a B+ that time, by the way. But then for sophomore year came along and I was determined to be a Stanford engineer. But the road there was not easy. So we all have our struggles, our ups and downs, but we persevere past those struggles and we learn from that resilience and that adversity. So I think it's a great, great advantage. Now I studied, struggled with a couple classes, and my counselor's like, well, why don't you take them during the summers? and then we can transfer them in. So that's what I ended up doing. So there's always a way, right? Now, some more challenges ahead. I told you I was divorced. So now I think it was Corina or someone mentioned the use of technology. So I use technologies to find now my amazing husband, Greg. And so, yes, we met online. Now, shortly after we met and we got married, we could not conceive, right? So imagine going through another 9 years, hoping for a child and no luck. We went through a series of miscarriages, 4 that I can count. I think there was probably more. But something was seriously wrong. I did feel like a woman failure. Then one day, there it is, a positive test result. Yay, we were so excited. I was super, super thrilled. Now, for almost 12 weeks, we were in heaven. We were elated. Then right when we're getting ready to announce it to the world, we end up back in the hospital. And yeah, we were sent home after learning that our little one did not survive. Wow, I rehearsed this and it wasn't like this. But anyway, bear with me here. So we would not be able to meet him or her after all. We went right back to our fertility specialist and our OBGYN, who really told me your body needs some rest. So I remember going back into the next fertility meeting, only to be sent back to my doctor, who once again confirmed that we're expecting. Now, this time they found the problem. They found the root cause of my problem. They fixed it. And that's how now we have my miracle Gabriela. She's 14 years old now. Now, we struggled so much, we weren't even thinking of a third child. Now, keep in mind, I'm approaching 40 at this time. Imagine going through all of that. Then we learned that we're expecting again. And this time it was a boy. After such struggles and about a 10-year wait now, imagine a child being placed in your arms and being told he refuses to eat. He was diagnosed with what they called failure to thrive. It's a very rare condition called Potocki-Lupski syndrome. And we were told he may not make it. He will struggle with walking, with talking, some of the basics of life. We heard that and we got busy, right? Our resilience kicked in. We partnered with 9 doctors, 5 therapists. We put a G-tube in his belly, and now he is thriving at 13 years old. So we didn't treat him, his name is Gregory, for how he was. We treated him with how he could and should be. Now he's an honor student at his school. He has a camouflage belt in Taekwondo, and he's thriving in life and in health. Now, all this while I'm traveling the world, meeting with business people, politicians, and companies everywhere. Like our keynote speaker says, I said yes to every opportunity that came my way. Even if that was on the other side of the world, I led 3 Fortune 500 companies to great profits and engaged continuous improvement cultures. I traveled to 26 countries. I was transforming companies for the better with huge performance improvement. So I gave many presentations in the boardroom, and I was an executive for about half of my 29-year career in corporate America. And I'll say this, I'll agree with Eliana, our keynote speaker's advice on negotiating. All of those leaders that I negotiated with for higher pay, because I would, at every position, at every promotion, they highly respected me. And we still keep in touch. I actually do business with them now. So they will appreciate you and pay you for the value that you bring to the team. So now I'm here in front of you, asking all of you to persevere past whatever adversity comes your way, because it will come. Guaranteed, it's just a part of life. Now, a few more things that I want to leave you with in terms of actions. First of all, some books. I see that we're putting some books there. Of course, the Extraordinary Latinas book is an amazing read of resilience from many of my amigas, my fellow Latinas. I also have one of my own, Life Beyond the Border. You can get more details on the lessons learned and the stories that I mentioned throughout this talk. And connect with me via the United Latinas Mighty Hub and LinkedIn. Send me the word activate. I'll send you the recipes from my book. There's 3 recipes at the end of my book, and a template for the WRAP framework that we just went through. So my name is Griselda. I'm just a girl with a lot of grit and ganas from Brownsville, Texas, asking you to activate your passion and do so as you reflect, act, and persevere. And now that's a wrap on your journey to excellence. So go out there, ignite your passion, fuel your fire, and activate your excellence. I'm here to tell you, as a previous executive, now an entrepreneur, businesses need you. They need your compassion, your talents, and your contributions. So let's go out there and let's get busy and go do it.
Thank you, Griselda. Thank you. That was amazing. And I want to call up all of our other authors that are here with us today.